Well, thank you for the introduction, and my thanks also to Minister Watt for opening the conference, and to Landcare Australia for the opportunity to speak to you today at your 2022 National Landcare Conference, being held in Sydney on Gadigal land and virtually. As I'm speaking to you all from Canberra, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, the Ngunnawal people, in their language. Daranuna, Daranunawal, Yangu, Nalamanyin, Dunamanyin, Ngunnawalwari, Dawawari, Dindi, Wangaralinjin. This is Ngunnawal country. Today we are meeting together on Ngunnawal country. We acknowledge and pay respects to the elders. And I extend that recognition to the traditional custodians of lands right across Australia where our department work, where our colleagues live, and I acknowledge their continuing connection to land, sea, waters, environment and the community. I'd very much like to congratulate Landcare Australia for convening this year's preeminent National Landcare Conference. It is truly amazing to see such a passionate level of involvement from the landcare movement, from our incredible farmers, our land managers, our First Nations traditional owners and communities, all levels of government, and a wide range of industry and regional and commercial representatives. I'd like to echo Minister Watt's comments on the importance of landcare and reiterate the Department of Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry support for you. And I'd also like to recognise the essential role of natural resource management, which underpins the sustainable growing of Australia's agricultural sector, protecting our environment and building regional communities into the future. I'd like to talk about the holistic approach that the government will continue to take to ensure that we maximise the effectiveness and reach of landcare initiatives, as well as our great country's productivity and profitability in the agriculture space. This is demonstrated through over 30 years of support for landcare through the National Landcare Program and its predecessors, dating right back to the Hawke government. For many years, those involved in landcare activities have testified to a greater sense of self, both physically and mentally, as a result of an enhanced link with their local environment and with other people in their neighbourhood. And this is why the theme for this year's conference, Power of Landcare, Shaping Our Future, is a call to action and recognise the importance of forward thinking when it comes to succession planning. It's important that we embrace change and support new ways of thinking and acting, and we must involve our youth in meaningful discussions and long-term planning as they have the biggest stake in our future. As mentioned by the Minister, the National Landcare Program currently underpins the government's commitment to landcare. NLP is a collection of programs, but two have very close alignment with my department's portfolio arrangements. The $450 million Regional Landcare Partnerships Program, which conserves nationally and internationally significant species, ecological communities and heritage values, and supports sustainable farming and land management practices. And the $136 million Smart Farms program, which supports the development and uptake of best practice, tools and technologies for farmers, fishers, foresters and regional communities. The program helps to improve the protection, resilience and capacities of soils, water and vegetation, underpinning successful communities and primary industries. Through its three elements, Smart Farms provides funds for projects that address a range of sustainable agriculture, landcare and national resource management issues including soil health, pest and weed management, improving farm productivity, Indigenous involvement, climate and markets, and the use of new technologies and extension pathways to improve sustainable practices. Projects cover a broad range of agricultural sectors including broadacre cropping, livestock, mixed farming, rangelands, marine, horticulture and sugar. We believe that the program has improved the capacity of food, fibre and forestry businesses to measure and to demonstrate their sustainability and green credentials along their supply chains and to develop innovative branding as part of access to new and growing markets. Under the NLP, the Australian Government works in partnership with not-for-profits, the private sector, state and territory governments, Indigenous and local communities, as well as industry, to protect and conserve Australia's water, soil, plants, animals and ecosystems, as well as supporting the productive and sustainable use of those valuable resources. We fund and work with organisations like Landcare Australia and National Landcare Network at a national level to directly support state and territory landcare peak bodies as well as local landcare groups. The NLP also directly engages with major service providers such as the regional natural resource management and industry bodies to directly support the delivery of small on-ground projects and related activities that are in turn delivered by or directly engaged with the local landcare community. Given that the present phase of the NLP is due for completion on 30 June next year, the Department is supporting our Minister in working with other ministers to shape the next phase of work under the NHT to deliver government priorities and new programs to support landcare. We of course envisage that more announcements will be made in due course. Colleagues, I'd also like briefly to outline some other examples of programs managed by my department with interest to landcare. The government is investing $100 million a year through the Future Drought Fund to provide funding for drought resilience initiatives. And this aligns well with the landcare movement through direct funding and the support through the 8 drought resilience adoption and innovation hubs located around Australia. The Drought Fund has also funded over 80 projects to trial adoption of land management practices that support landscape resilience. The National Soil Package is worth $214.9 million over 4 years, and it will implement the National Soil Strategy and the associated Commonwealth Interim Action Plan. The strategy is Australia's first national policy on soils and sets out how we value, manage and improve our soil for the next 20 years. It provides a unifying vision for action towards healthier soils. There are several programs which sit under this National Soil Package which have commenced implementation, including the Pilot Soil Monitoring and Incentives Program, the Soil Science Challenge grants, and the development of the Australian National Soil Information System. To close, I'd like to offer my congratulations to all of the finalists in the 2022 National Landcare Awards, including the Australian Government Individual Landcare Award, the Landcare Farming Award, the Partnerships for Landcare Award, and of course the coveted Bob Hawke Landcare Award. Congratulations in advance to the winners of these important awards, and we're all eagerly awaiting the announcements at this evening's gala dinner. Now I'd like to reiterate my thanks to our Minister, Senator Murray Watt, for formally opening the conference and speaking about the history and importance of landcare. And again, thank you for the opportunity to speak, and once again I congratulate all of you and Landcare Australia for holding this conference and bringing you together from around this great country of ours. Good luck with your deliberations, and I look forward to hearing the outcomes in due course.